1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
Both of us couldn't really answer this with honesty because we're not in that situation, thankfully. But do you think in that situation you could resort to cannibalism?
That's a very.
Could you agree to draw lots and risk being the victim? Could you possibly do that, knowing that otherwise you'll all die anyway?
I think we've had a similar scenario on this show where, you know, it was a similar thing. But to answer your question, it's a very simple one. Would I agree to be drawn in a lot? I think I would. Once I'm in that situation, I would resign. I would give up all rights to live it. Matter of fact,
that's interesting.
I know I'm staring death in the eyes, and so I would be making my final arrangements, as in, you know, making my peace with God, and, you know, as they say, and so I think I'd volunteer myself. I'd be like, well, what's the point? I hate suffering.
Yeah.
If I'm in,
you volunteer though.
I would.
You volunteer.
I would volunteer. I would volunteer. I would say, you know what? Just save yourself, guys. Eat me. And another reason that would make that decision an easy one for me to make is the fact that I don't think I could eat anybody.
So if you were desperate, you might be able to.
Even if they cast a lot and they say, well, you know, and it luckily didn't fall on me, I would still say, right, I'll take your place, don't worry. I would say that because I could not bring myself to eating another human flesh. I look at life as being really precious. Even people that are worthy of the electric chair, as they say, or the death penalty, whichever form it takes, I still look at them and I think, oh, that's a wasted life. Granted, maybe if they spared his life, he'd commit more crimes. I understand that. But I still mourn the loss of a life. I view life as being precious. So would I don't think so. I would say, listen.
You'd volunteer.
I would volunteer. I would say, listen, you know, if you don't kill me, I'll probably die anyway. So you might as well be resourceful.
Well, I must make sure if you and I ever go out on a boat, I must make sure that you're there, and I remind you of this story in case we sink. Okay, well, that's interesting, and we can't explain how or why that coincidence happened, and coincidence or something is there. As we said before, a lot of coincidences are sort of probability. Now, we've said this before, I believe, that if you're in a room or a hall with 23 people, there's a 50% chance that two of you will have the same birthday, which is quite surprising, but it's a statistical fact. Now, if you go up to, I think it's 75 people, there's a 99.9% chance that two will have the same birthday, which is actually quite incredible. 75 people when there's 365 days in the year. But if there's 75, there's that statistical.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang, with fun.
When there's 365 days in the year, but if there's 75, there's that statistical chance, almost 100%. But if you want 100%, for some reason, the book or Google would tell you you need 367, which I don't quite get. You can understand 366. That's the extra leap year day, 29th of Feb. Anyway, but what we're saying is you can see some coincidence. We think, wow, that's a huge coincidence. But actually, if you look at statistics and things and probability, these things can be explainable. Some little oddities, really. Presidents in America. Now, Abraham Lincoln and John Kennedy were both elected to Congress. Lincoln in 1846, Kennedy in 1946. Both of them were elected president 1861, 1961. Each was then assassinated, sadly, on a Friday, and they were both succeeded by a new president called Johnson. One was Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, and Lyndon Johnson succeeded Kennedy, which is all sort of weird, isn't it? But there's a few more oddities with presidents. 3 of 5 American presidents died on the 4th of July. Now, the 4th of July, of course, is their Independence Day, which in fact I think was originally 250 years ago this year, 1776. Well, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams both died on the same day, 4th of July, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, and both had helped draw that up, so it was almost a bit weirder. And then a third president, James Monroe, also died 5 years later after the previous 2 on the 4th of July in 1831. Death of presidents, President Kennedy. There's been all sorts of conspiratory theories about his death. You know, maybe there was more than one person, or Lee Harvey Oswald, the alleged killer. Perhaps it wasn't him, and so on. And my question to you, Cuz, is do you believe in any of the conspiracy theories? There's a lot of them about, aren't there? Do you believe any of them?
There's got to be, there's got to be the probability of one of them being believable. Let's put it that way, because there's a lot of coincidences in the world that one of them is got to tally with something. And that's just, some people might call it a chance, or some people might call it a coincidence. Some people might say it's carefully.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.